Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the December 18th edition of the Disney Morning Show starring Kyle Urban. How you doing,
That's
Kyle?
me.
And Doobie Mosley. That's me. And we're going to talk to you about what's going on in the world of Disney over the past 24 hours or so. We got a lot to get to today. We do have a special guest joining us. So if you get sick of Doobie and Kyle and you'd like someone else to join us, you're in luck. Let's get started. With my internal reminder to send the special guest the link. All right, let's get started the way we do every day. Look at the morning stock price yesterday. This stock was in the neighborhood of, share the screen, was in the neighborhood of 113.51. Today we are at 115.24. It is a big jump. Kyle, if you had invested $1 million in the stock market yesterday, overnight, you would have made 2% of $1 million.
Wow. If I had $1 million, I wouldn't have to eat Kraft dinner.
You wouldn't be on this show right now either, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Good morning and welcome to another LP Disney Weather Report. It was December 24th on Holly's Avenue after dark, when I seen a man chilling with his dog in the park. I approached him very slowly with my heart full of fear, looked at his dog, oh my god, an ill reindeer. But then I was ill and cause the man had a beard, and a bag full of goodies. 12 o'clock had neared, so I turned my head a second and the man was gone. But he must have dropped his wallet smack dead on the lawn. I picked the wallet up, but then I took a pause, took out the license and it cold said, Santa Claus, $1 million in it, cold hundreds of G's, enough to buy a boat and matching car with ease. But I'd never steal from Santa Claus, that ain't right. So I was going home to mail it back to him that night. But when I got home, I bugged cause under the tree was a letter from Santa and the dough was for me. Let's get to the weather. Anaheim will be fairly warm today, hitting a high of 78. Although, it will fall back to below 60 degrees by the time the clock strikes midnight. Walt Disney World will breach the 80-degree mark today, with humidity even making it feel a bit warmer. However, there is a low-end chance of showers throughout the day, so keep an eye on the sky. Castaway Cay is rainy and windy this morning. While the precip will end this afternoon, the winds will continue. Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point will feel like 83 today despite still being windy as well. Disneyland Paris is experiencing some drizzle this evening but should clear before the end of the night. The good news is that it's 53 degrees, so warmer than normal for this time of year. Tokyo will start the day with a mix of rain and snow showers, but those are expected to subside by 8 a.m. From there, it will warm to 47 with mostly sunny skies. Shanghai is in for a cloudy day tomorrow and will only make it to 46. Lastly, Hong Kong will be sunny and clear tomorrow, hitting a high of 63 degrees. And that will do it for another Disney weather update. Have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
This just in. We have a new poster. And that is breaking news around here. But actually, this thing comes with a teaser as well for Stitch. And as you can tell from that art, inspired by The Lion King. But they released another short teaser, 27 seconds or something like that. Apparently, we're not allowed to see more than 30 seconds at a time of this movie.
So let's watch these 27 seconds.
Yeah, these aren't even going to be in the movie, most likely. On the one hand, I'm a little annoyed that they haven't released like a proper trailer for this yet, but I do like that they're harkening back to the original ad campaign for Lilo and Stitch, where he was crashing other movies. So we had the Moana tie-in, and now we have this Mufasa tie-in. I guess I don't know what else is coming up that they could do, but
I have hope now that we will get the classic poster of Stitch with all the princesses looking at them, but the live-action version, since those have all been done with live-action movies now, I have hope that will happen. I also have it on good authority that the quality of that trailer, according to our own reviewer, is better than the quality of the actual Lion King movie coming out this weekend.
It could be, but do be.
We've
This
got
is what
more?
I originally had in the breaking slot, so I might as well give it to. We just got word. It's both surprising and not at the same time that the Hall of Presidents will be closing in January, but more importantly, and more notably, it will be reopening sometime in 2025. So it'll close for refurbishment on January 20th, which is, of course, Inauguration Day, which is why that's the last day to see the current version will be the 19th. It'll be closed on the 20th. But according to the Walt Disney World site, it is expected to reopen later in 2025. So It's not going anywhere.
Awesome. I love the Hall of Presidents and the salute to Americana, and I am happy it remains.
Do you think it's hurt by being so far inferior to the American Adventure just to park over?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's okay. I mean, it's not like it takes up a lot of room. It's a small building.
No, it's needed in Liberty Square, too.
And you need to, it's perfect for Liberty Square. And I mean, in all honesty, especially at Magic Kingdom with all the rides and crowds and stuff, you need a place to chill. And it's nice to have a place to chill while learning a little bit about America. In other not breaking news, I guess this is breaking. We just heard about it this morning.
Hold on.
If you're a Disney Plus subscriber and you want to take a cruise, have we got good news for you, assuming you're young and have parents who want to cruise with you. Disney Plus subscribers can save 50% on the third and fourth guest under 18 on certain cruise line vacations. They have to be 17 or under, be staying in the same room with 2 full fare guests. That's 3, 4, and 5 night cruises out of Port Canaveral and Fort Lauderdale, as well as select 2 to 6 night cruises out of Melbourne, Australia. There are lots of blackout dates, so be aware of that. But if you want to save a little money,
it's a complicated offer, and that is why you want to talk to our friends at, I'm looking for the banner, Mousefan Travel, who can make sure that your trip complies with this and that you're able to get the deal.
Yes, Mousefan Travel, obviously. We always recommend make sure you let them know we sent you. What is Tony talking about here? Oh, for Hall of Presidents. Yes.
Well, yeah, they'll have to change the show because it'll have a different speech and stuff. And then they'll also have to update the note on the thing that talks about why there are 45 AAs but 46 presidents, and they'll have to say 45 but 47.
Yes. Your turn.
Yeah. So the Oscars, the nominations haven't been announced, but they did share the shortlists in 10 categories, which is just some of the, you can think of them as like the finalists. And of course, some Disney ones were among that. So in the documentary feature film, the movie Sugarcane, which we just read Marshall's review a few days ago, that's on the shortlist. For original score, you have Alien Romulus, Inside Out 2, and Young Woman in the Sea. Original song, Never Too Late, from the Elton John documentary with the same name. Beyond from Moana 2, and Tell Me It's You from Mufasa. For sound, Alien Romulus, A Complete Unknown, and Deadpool and Wolverine. And finally, visual effects, Alien Romulus, Deadpool and Wolverine, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Mufasa. So we'll see if any of these get actual nominations, but they are on the short list, which means they're getting close.
Awesome. Good luck, all you Disney participants. Moana 2, not Moana 2, just Moana, sorry. So the Disney Treasure has a Moana show, as hopefully you know by now, considering the plethora of Disney Treasure coverage that's been out there from us and elsewhere the past couple of weeks.
Apparently a very, very good Moana show.
I mean, Jeremiah, who has seen probably maybe as many shows as anyone I could think of, said it is the best Disney production, not like Broadway, but theme park / cruise production he has ever seen, which is something. So really getting good reviews. They don't allow filming inside these shows. So as far as I know, there are no full videos out there of the show, but Playbill got to do an exclusive of the How Far You'll Go reprise in it. And so they put that out on YouTube, the full song. We're not going to play it here. We don't want to get copyrighted, but please go to Playbill's YouTube channel or go to our article where we have the video.
There you go.
And go see the full video, the first real extensive footage, which this is not the best excerpt of, from the Moana musical aboard the Disney Treasure, which I still want to go on this ship. I really, really do.
I'm sure you'll get to. But Jeremiah speaking of Jeremiah, he was in the parks yesterday and came across plenty of 2025 merchandise that's arrived at Walt Disney World. There's a ton to this collection here. Go ahead.
What do you think of the logo this year? The general 25 that they've gone with.
It's fun. I like it's loud as always, but I think they found a good way to make it to make it loud. And like I said, there's a ton of different items here. You have shirts, hoodies, hats, ornaments, backpacks, ears, plushes, picture frames, And then I think perhaps most notably for Doobie, there are transportation toys, including a Skyliner figure and a bus figure that you can get that have the 2025 date. But
Feverishly scrolling.
what's
Oh,
that?
there we go. I said feverishly scrolling in the other window. There they are. Jeremiah, you know what to do.
If you can't make it to Walt Disney World or Disneyland, though, a lot of this stuff is available on Disney Store as well. So you can check it out there.
You know what they don't have anymore? I really miss it. They used to have an airplane as well that had the logo on it. And I would collect those every year, and I don't believe they do those at all anymore.
I miss the Hess trucks. I'm sure they still have them. I just don't live near a Hess.
We are doing it, as everyone does every now and then, just a clean out. And as Gideon grows older, get rid of some stuff. And so among the things he had to go through were all his Hess toys. So because we used to get them one every year, and he chose one to keep, and the rest to say goodbye to.
Are they Speedway toys now? Is that how?
I don't think they do those anymore. But I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know, Tony. Over at Animal Kingdom, we spotted some new Banshee accessories. So the Banshee, of course, is that toy you can get. We have one that is the animal. It's very large, larger than normal animals, over at Animal Kingdom. So that's for you, Tony. They used to have a wire to activate them. I learned in this article they're now wireless, which is really cool. Banshee technology advances, but they've also released some new
They evolve, Doobie.
some new gear to representing the clans, the various clans. So this is the Teirangi clan, and we've got the Omatikaya clan. So funny. And we've got the Wind Traders clan. I can pronounce that one.
Yeah, nice.
And these are $20 each to put some gear on it. And then they've also got a new crossbody bag you can purchase that will let you carry your Banshee someplace other than your shoulder, which a lot of people carry them as well. And go get that. And if you want to get a Banshee right now, the Banshee with the wireless controller is only $90. Go get yours. Excuse me, $89.99. I believe this is in Animal Kingdom, so the sales tax is a little different than it would be in other places, parts of Walt Disney World.
Do the Banshee bags have holes so that they can breathe?
I don't think they have holes, but they're porous. It's not like solid. I think they can breathe okay.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
New Year's Rockin' Eve is coming up. Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest is the full name. And we got another performer been added to the list. The Jonas Brothers will be performing. They'll air just after midnight on the East Coast. And this is apparently not the first time they've played this special. As a group, they've played 3 times. And then if you count some of their solo performances, they've been on 5 times, which is quite a lot because we think of the Jonas Brothers as being
Aren't they like
young.
12?
Yeah, exactly. They're not all married, divorced, and have kids.
Do we know the answer to the ultimate question regarding the Jonas Brothers and their performance?
Oh, we don't know if the trash can will be there or not. But we do know that some other performances include Carrie Underwood, Lenny Kravitz, Alanis Morissette, Kesha, TLC, T-Pain, and others.
I'm just looking at this list now to see how many of these I've heard of.
I was going to mention the trash can, and then I'm like, it's just for the two of us. Nobody else watching this.
No one.
Any
not even Tony gets the trash can reference, and he's better off for it. And finally, over at the AMC Theater, they are preparing for the release of Mufasa this weekend, which I guess probably means tomorrow night, or maybe even tonight now these days. We keep moving that preview earlier and earlier. So check it out. This is actually really cool. They've got some lighting going on, so you can step into the Pride Lands with this lighting, with new decorations. And then it carries on to the inside as well. This is like a little brown carpet for you to walk in on. Picture spot for you. So this is really cool stuff. I said it carried on to the inside. I could be wrong. But really nice little touch that they're doing for Mufasa coming to theaters, which we are going to be talking to Mike Celestino shortly about his Mufasa review. He did the official Laughing Place review for Mufasa. And we're also going to, tomorrow, we'll be looking at the Rotten Tomatoes score of Mufasa and giving our official box office prediction for the very first time. But something we hope to continue doing like I said, we're going to do that tomorrow, Fred Ramirez. So we're going to go to our extensive research, which means I'm going to text my friend Cole and get his opinion and go with that.
That's cheating.
I know, it is cheating. All right, one more thing before we bring on Mike Celestino, and that is a look at Disney Plus. Every now and then we like to see what's trending on Disney Plus, since they now have that feature. So you to see what people are actually watching. So let's go to my Disney Plus again. I have the TV-14, so no
I
naughty
just
stuff.
checked for real, and there didn't seem to be any that would not be included in yours.
Okay. So you can tell Christmas is exactly 1 week away. We have Home Alone, the Simpsons special. Happy to see that doing well. Home Alone 2, Santa Claus, Mufasa, people getting ready for the movie tomorrow night. Skeleton Crew, which of course had its 4th episode last night. Polar Express, which I'm strongly considering watching. Dream Productions, really good. Happy to see that. And then the other 2 Lion Kings, again, Mufasa.
Of all the
out.
things that freak you out, I would probably guess that Polar Express will be one of them. So I'm interested to see how that goes.
Maybe I won't watch it then. All right.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Wrong button.
You feel that there's a lot of upward mobility in the Muppets organization? Star Wars crochet finger puppets. Wow, real raptor. I had a Scooter action figure when I was very young, like 4 or 5 years old, and my dog chewed it all up. Hi everyone, it's Mike Celestino with Laughing Place.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
You know how when we do Parks Talk and the video of Gideon plays and he says, it's on, and he looks so much younger than he does right now? That's how I'm starting to feel about my intro video. How young and carefree I look in those clips.
Now you've got the burdens of the world upon you, and you can tell.
Speaking of Gideon, I heard you talking about him giving away his toys, and I had a flashback to the things that I regret the most in my life.
Oh no,
which is giving away all my toys when I was growing older.
If you're watching Gideon, do not listen to Mike Celestino. Clearing away stuff, getting rid of stuff is a good thing.
Yeah, in 20 years he'll be rebuying all of them. So
did Toy Story 3 just like completely destroy you?
Yes, it definitely did.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, well, let's get to some news that will not make my parenting life harder, and that is Skeleton Crew, Episode 4. Mike Celestino has his in-depth recap and review on the website. Are you also going to be doing an Easter egg article for this one?
I didn't think there were enough Easter eggs in this episode to warrant its own article, but I might combine there's like a handful of minor ones. I might just combine it with next week's.
Okay. So we're going to talk.
Yeah.
Spoiler free, of course, because most people haven't seen it yet this morning.
Right.
What did you think of Episode 4, the first new episode for you, since you got to preview the first 3? So what did you think of Episode 4?
Yeah, I was going to say both of the reviews I'm going to talk about today are kind of lukewarm. No pun intended for the Star Wars crowd. But yeah, this was, I thought, the weakest episode to me of Skeleton Crew so far. The whole middle section kind of dragged, and it had some moments that I thought did not land as they were intended. But I thought the ending was pretty good, and I'm still into the show. I just thought this fell kind of short of what we had seen previously.
Is it just the quality of the episode? Whoops, sorry about that. Is it just the quality of the episode itself, or are you a little bit unhappy about the direction the plot seems to be going?
No, the plot is interesting. There were some great ideas. Yeah, without spoiling, it's tough to talk about it, but I just thought they weren't executed well. And I hate to say this publicly, but I think the Daniels are a little overrated. The guys who made Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who are they in the relation to Skeleton Crew?
They directed this episode.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Now I know you do your Who's the Boss podcast. When will that one be for this episode?
Thursday, tomorrow in the early evening.
And who will your guest be for that one?
Laughing Place's own Eric Goldman.
Oh,
first
nice.
time in the show.
Yeah, first time. Has he been on air for us at all yet? I'm excited about that. That's pretty awesome. He's our newest contributor here at Laughing Place. So, but not new to the industry. He does a lot of entertainment writing. So I'm excited for that. Cool. And then that'll of course be on your podcast feed. Probably the next day.
Yeah, Friday morning. I'll put that up on the audio version.
Awesome. Okay, and then the other thing, Mufasa comes out tomorrow. You did the official Laughing Place review for Mufasa. Obviously, we're going to say spoiler free. This movie isn't even out yet. But what were your thoughts on Mufasa?
Yeah, again, I just thought it was fine. Um, it's
It had drama. It had laughs.
yes, and it had adventure. Uh, yeah, it's perfectly serviceable. I think if you know what you're getting into and you go see this movie, you'll be satisfied. It just didn't blow me out of the water. And I also I was kind of disappointed with the music actually because I'm a fan of Lin-Manuel Miranda's, and the songs are all good, but not great. Like I walked out of Encanto when I saw that press screening. I saw Encanto like a month before it came out, and I was like, wow, people are going to go nuts for these songs. They're going to be singing them for years. And I was right about that. But this one, I just didn't feel that same vibe coming out of the music. And you can tell that either he was instructed to or decided to on his own kind of create songs in the same categories as the songs from the original Lion King movie. Like there's a Circle of Life, there's a I Just Can't Wait to Be King, there's a Be Prepared, those kind of like templates were used to create the new songs. And then just on a story level, it's just okay to me. The Timon and Pumbaa were a highlight. They're the comic relief, and they had some funny bits.
What did you think of the first Lion King, just for the first live action Lion King, for some reference?
So I was actually really impressed with the technology behind it, and I remember kind of walking out of that movie thinking this is almost sort of like an experimental film. So of kind of approaching it from that direction, I was impressed by it, and I know a lot of that technology went into creating the volume and the stagecraft for Industrial Light and Magic and stuff. So we kind of got the Mandalorian and stuff because Jon Favreau was experimenting with all this tech for the Jungle Book movie and the Lion King. So for that reason, I appreciated the first version a little bit more. This one kind of felt a little warmed over. Also, they did the thing where everybody was complaining in the Jon Favreau Lion King about how the lions didn't have expressions, like they couldn't smile, and now they can, and it totally throws me off. It feels really bizarre.
So you're saying Favreau was right?
I do.
Oh,
I do think he was right.
Going back to the music for a second, I don't think this is too much of a spoiler, but I have to know which of the characters, since this is a Lin-Manuel one, which one gets the Patter song rap?
Is there a rap? I
hope it's
think that any of the songs have a rap in it, which
Wow.
is weird.
That's growth.
We didn't get a Scuttlebutt Part 2 from this character right here.
That's what I was thinking. As soon as you showed that, I'm like, oh, he's got to be the one.
There are a couple songs in the second half that I liked more than the first few, I will say.
So Mike's official recommendation, don't leave halfway through. It gets better.
Yeah. So I gave it 3 out of 5. And I think that's about where Rotten Tomatoes is right now too. It's at 60% exactly. So
3 out of 5.
I nailed it.
3 out of 5 what, Mike?
I said 3 out of 5 delicious beetles, I think.
Crickets.
Laughing.
Crickets. Delicious crickets.
Yeah.
That has a different connotation with movies, though.
Right.
All right. So I was preparing for Around LP and noticed that you and David Murcho recently did a review of a movie that I didn't see coming, or a recap, or whatever you want to call it. The Dark Mirror. How does this come about? What part of LP is this?
So if regular listeners of Who's the Boss will note that since episode 110, every 10 episodes, David and I have done this thing we call Mike and David Movie Club, where we alternate choices between David and myself. And the only criterion is that we have to pick a movie that is related to Star Wars within 1 degree. Okay. So we've done like Akira Kurosawa films, we've done Westerns, we've done 2001 A Space Odyssey. And this one, back when The Acolyte was coming out, I did a little research into this trope of twins, twin characters played by the same actor in film noir, and this was one of the most famous examples from 1946. It's called The Dark Mirror. I had never seen it. David had never seen it, even though David's a big film noir fan, so he had some good insights to discussing it. And yeah, we watched it. We enjoyed it. It's a good talk. I like doing these Mike and David Movie Club episodes because it kind of lets us step out of the direct Star Wars spotlight for a little bit and get into some other types of films. And at the end of each one of these episodes, we always announce what the next movie is going to be in case people want to watch and listen along. So episode 220 will be the movie High Fidelity, which co-stars Jack Black, who has appeared in The Mandalorian. So there's the Star Wars connection.
Well, I had an idea, but I think it's probably technically 2 steps away, which is you mentioned the impact that The Lion King had on Star Wars. So you should look at Kimba the White Lion.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to watch that movie, that it's on YouTube. I just found for full movies on YouTube for free.
Oh, yeah.
Go check it out.
That's probably better than the way we watched it, because we watched it on some streaming service that had a commercial break like every 10 minutes.
A couple more things we wanted to talk to Mike about. Mike covers all things West Coast for us. So let's just briefly talk about your trip to the studio lot recently for a D23 event. So what was that?
So this is the annual D23 kind of holiday party. I think they kind of set up all these decorations on the very famous Walt Disney Studios lot in Burbank for the cast member party earlier in the week, and then they keep them there, and D23 can bring in an evening's worth of guests from their membership who, you have to buy a ticket and go, and you get to spend the evening on the lot, and there's shopping and food and characters, entertainment. I said on the other show that I was disappointed that the movie theater wasn't open for this event, because in years past I have gone and they've done like screenings. I got to see Muppet Christmas Carol on the big screen for the first time in forever, and I saw the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special on the big screen, which I had never experienced that before. So that was my favorite part that was kind of left out this year. But Benji had said that the theater was maybe under refurbishment. But yeah, there's Goofy, and everybody seemed to have a good time. It's got a lot going on. It's a nice way to spend the evening, and it's not, as a Disney fan, it's cool to step outside the parks for a bit and go to a different Disney locale in Southern California. You don't get a ton of time. There's not a lot of opportunities to spend on the lot in Burbank. So just being there is very cool, and it's a special occasion with all the goings on, and it's a lot of fun.
Did they have the store open as well, so you could go buy some studio merchandise?
Yeah, the line is just incredibly long all evening to get into that store.
Of course. Okay, and the last thing Mike wanted to talk to you about, now on Disney Plus, the latest Simpsons Christmas episode.
Yeah, so yesterday was actually the 35th anniversary of The Simpsons' very first episode that ever premiered in 1989. I was 10 years old. I just turned 10 when that first episode came on, not counting Tracy Ullman. And that was a Christmas episode. And now this is the new double-length Disney Plus exclusive Simpsons Christmas special, which I enjoyed. I found it very funny and touching. I got to go to the premiere last week again through D23. Yeah, it's focused on both Homer and Ned Flanders. That's kind of the A and B story. And Homer gets kind of hypnotized into thinking he is Santa Claus, and that triggers a crisis of faith for Flanders. But it pays off really well. It's got a guest star who I had never heard of before, but it made me want to go check out his stuff. His name is Darren Brown, I think, and he's a British mentalist and magician. I just wasn't familiar with him, but the writer of the episode talked a lot about him in her intro, and it made me want to go look on YouTube for the kind of stuff that he does. Apparently it's like social experiments, that kind of thing. And that's kind of how the episode starts for The Simpsons. Yeah.
He's done some cool stuff. I've seen some of his stuff. Wow, that's cool. Did you rewatch the first episode yesterday?
I did not. No.
Okay, it's on YouTube now. If you want to do so, they put it for free
I've seen
on
it.
YouTube yesterday.
I've seen it many times. Is it? Was there any kind of like commentary or somebody?
I didn't watch it. If they did, they didn't say so. They just said they were releasing it on YouTube.
It's just the episode.
5 p.m. Pacific yesterday for all to see. Hear those different voices. I first saw The Simpsons on the Tracy Ullman Show way back when. It was different, and it's hard to believe it's still around. It'll be around long after I die. They're still going to be making new episodes of.
Well, I thought for a long time I was like, okay, at least this is a very dark thought, but like, at least The Simpsons can't go past where the voice cast starts dying off, right? And that started to happen.
Oh.
Like the voice of Edna Krabappel died, and they retired her character, but now they're starting to retire, and they're replacing them, or even passing away. I know the voice of like Martin Prince died, and they just replaced her. So now it could just go for all eternity if they just start replacing the voice actors. But I don't know. Some of the voice actors will be hard to replace. Like Harry Shearer has such a unique voice, and Hank Azaria. It's going to be tough if they decide to do that. So,
I mean, the long-term play is AI can replace it perfectly, and
right, just have AI generated Simpsons episodes forever and ever.
The one thing they can't replace is Mike Celestino's weekly recaps, and they can't go on without that. So, Mike, you are the limiting factor for the.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't die soon. Thank you for joining us, Mike. What you got? Anything else you got going on you want to mention over the next few days?
It's a big day for Star Wars comics. There's 5 new Star Wars comic books coming out today.
Oh, hello.
So I'll be writing reviews of those. Tomorrow's Who's the Boss in the evening, like I said. But that's all the big stuff. Yeah, the holiday season, it's tough to get to the parks. I think I'm blocked out as of today or yesterday. So
when you see 5 new Star Wars comics, do you go, whoo, I get to read comic books all day, or dang, I gotta review 5 comic books?
I'll say I'm more excited for some of them than the others. But,
okay. And you can find out why when he reviews those on Laughing Face. Thank you so much for getting up with us this morning, Mike.
Yeah, you got it.
Not that early. What am I talking about? Wrong one. There you go. All right.
And the rest.
Thank you for the intro. Go ahead.
No problem. So we've had Disney Lorcana challenges and tournaments in North America and in Europe, and now they've announced one in Oceania. So this is going to be held at on February 1st and 2nd of next year at Marvel Stadium. And yes, that is that Marvel. They bought the naming rights to this stadium in Docklands, which I guess is close to Melbourne. And the top 2 competitors from this tournament will be invited to the World Championships, which will be taking place appropriately enough at Walt Disney World. Probably around March is what they're saying. They don't have exact dates yet. And if you want to participate in this, tickets are now on sale. So good luck.
Over on ESPN's E60, they have a new documentary coming, Second Wind, the Boomer and Gunnar Esiason story, a film about a father and son committed to the fight against cystic fibrosis. Boomer Esiason, of course, a great quarterback for mostly the Cincinnati Bengals, but he played for the Jets as well. This series will premiere at December 24th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN, and then will be on ESPN Plus right after its initial broadcast. And this was bizarre for me reading about this, because I remember Gunnar Esiason, Boomer's son. Boomer was a star football player, and all the talk about how he was very sick and everything. And so when I saw this documentary, I'm like expecting to see Boomer and his young child, forgetting that, children grow. So he's 30 years old now, and he was diagnosed at the age of 2. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disorder marked by the buildup of mucus in the lungs that hinders respiratory function. And this program combines interviews and nearly 20 years of ESPN footage to tell a compelling story of a family's quest for hope and progress. So some nice uplifting programming on Christmas Eve coming your way from ESPN.
Over on FX, the critically acclaimed show The Old Man had its 2nd season recently, but unfortunately will not be renewed for a 3rd. This show starred Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow. It was well received, like I said, and did well in its 1st season. Unfortunately, due to the strikes, there was a long break between the 1st and 2nd seasons, which might have hurt it. But you can still watch the current episodes, the first 2 seasons or the only 2 seasons on Hulu. And like I said, it is a Critics' Choice nominee for Best Drama, Best Actor, and Best Supporting Actor. So it could go out in style if it wins in some of those.
And Hubie Brown, iconic announcer and former coach, Hubie Brown, maybe a Mount Rushmore of basketball personalities other than players and coaches. One of the iconic broadcasters. After 5 decades with the NBA and 3 decades as a TV and radio analyst, coach and broadcaster Hubie Brown is going to do his final game on February 9th, 2 p.m. on ABC. And ABC will make a big deal out of that. It will kind of be a tribute to Hubie Brown. His career will be explored and honored during the broadcast. So check that out. And appropriately enough, it is going to be played in Milwaukee, which is where he began his career in 1972 as an assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks. So way to go, Hubie Brown. What you got?
We have actual breaking news I sent you in
I got
private
it.
chat.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I haven't read this yet, so let's do it together. But they've announced some of the things that will be offered during the 2025 Epcot International Festival of the Arts from January 17th to January 24th, including Once Upon a Stage, 30 Years of Disney on Broadway. That's pretty fun.
That is kind of cool.
I think that's probably the main thing. It looks like the other things are some merchandise and stuff. But yeah, we're getting a look at Disney on Broadway, which Benji actually went to the Broadway Museum. And they had the 30 Years on Broadway celebration. So it's cool that they're bringing a part of also celebrating that milestone in the parks now.
Festival of the Arts, because there has to be a festival at Epcot. It's a rule.
It is a rule. But with that...
The fun stuff.
We did used to have the actual music there, right? And
yeah,
themed for it. So now
I still dubbed in fun instead of right stuff. But yeah, then I had to redo the whole thing. We got another yesterday, as you know, is Tiger TV Tuesdays. So got to learn some new tricks. I forget if it's a boy or a girl. I think it's a she. Went outside to visit the yard and got to go what they call for preschool for cubs. Got to practice jumping from logs, rolling in the grass, and working. Oh, it's his pounce. So, yeah, very cute. This is a fun little series that they're doing with these, with this tiger. So be sure to check out Tiger TV Tuesday over on Laughing Place or the Disney Parks blog.
Don't you just
and
want
then we'll be back next week with more.
Doesn't it make you just want to have one as a pet?
No. I mean, cats are bad enough, let alone ones that can kill you.
Cats can kill you. I think we know that as a fact.
Yes, that's true. All right, Dewey, it's time for me to quiz you about things that happened on this day in Disney history. Starting off with 1946, someone very famous who does have many Disney credits, but the Disney credits aren't their most well-known. Let me read you their poem. There once was a director so grand, whose films were in high demand. With the story so bright, he brought dinos to life and magic through film well planned.
Steven Spielberg?
That is Steven Spielberg, who for Disney did some plenty of movies. BFG, I think.
Definitely not his best work.
Well, no, a lot of the Touchstone ones that he's done are a little bit
His best work is Gremlins.
There you go. On this day in 1950, someone involved with Disney. I think they probably have some direct Disney credits, but they're more associated with Disney. Let me read you this poem.
1950, 50?
Yes.
Okay.
A critic with wisdom so vast, whose film knowledge would always outlast. He'd talk Disney with glee on classics we'd see. His love for the magic held fast.
Leonard Maltin?
Leonard Maltin, our good friend, Leonard
Friend
Maltin.
of LP, Leonard Maltin, one of my very first, maybe my very first celebrity interview for Laughing Place was Leonard Maltin.
He stopped by our booth at D23 most recently and signed our banner, and that was a lot of fun talking to him and his daughter Jessie. But yeah, on this day in 1976, a sequel was released, A lawyer once smart, clean, and neat found his life took a strange, furry beat. With a magical twist, he became something missed, chasing justice on paws and on feet.
I hope that's the Shaggy DA.
That is the Shaggy DA.
Wait, these limericks make this job a lot easier.
Sometimes not so much. And then on this day,
By the way, your talent was coming up with these limericks so fast.
oh no,
I'm so
I'm now
impressed.
sharing my sheet. No,
I can't
I
read
did the
it.
opposite of what I wanted to do. Hold on a second. Let me
Crowd
fix
panic.
this.
Ah!
Panic. Doobie can see all my notes. On this day in 19,
It's Fred Ramirez.
I think it was 1980. Hold on, just one second. Let me
No
figure
problem.
this out.
Yeah, Leonard Maltin, host of the Walt Disney Treasures, that awesome DVD set back when people used to have physical media.
Yeah. On this day, this is the last one I'm going to make you guess. On this day in 1980, a Disney legend was born. In a kingdom where magic's alive, she sang with a voice that would drive. With reflection so clear, she brought us to tears. As a princess, her heart did survive. See?
Me
That was
now?
good. No, you're on the right movie. Different Disney legend.
Oh, Christina Aguilera.
I brought
see
it
her
up
down
by
there.
accident because I wasn't thinking. But yes,
That's
Christina
okay.
Aguilera, ex-Tina.
I knew I was wrong because I thought Ming Na was older. Sorry if you're watching this now.
Mickey Mouse Club alum, and also sang in Mulan, both Mulans. And then finally, I'm not going to make you guess this one, but in 1988, on this day, the McDonald's Fry Wagon debuted in Frontierland at Disneyland, and I find that funny. Oh, wow, that's a small photo.
You scroll, make it bigger. There you go. The fry cart. The fry cart. Remember when people were up in arms over McDonald's coming into Disney?
It was a burger invasion, Doopy.
What is Tony talking about? Oh, that's a short. Okay.
That's all.
That's all. Then that's all for everything. Thanks for joining us. I want to keep like a tally of how many shows in a row we've done. We are so on a roll. Go morning show. We're going to
We
be
are
back.
so back, as the kids say.
We're going to be back tomorrow with some Mufasa predictions. Look at the Rotten Tomatoes. Look ahead. Even though it's only Thursday, look ahead to the weekend. We should have our football picks tomorrow. I forgot that Rebecca made a mention. We were talking about Google Maps and how it didn't show the walkway. It actually has updated. The walkway is now available. It did reopen yesterday, and Google Maps even reflects that, from the Grand Floridian, or all the way from the Poly to the Magic Kingdom. And yes, Donna, I did watch the end of the Walk and Talk yesterday.
That's Nikki.
Why did? Oh, because Donna was right below. Okay, sorry. Yes, Nikki, I did watch the end of the Walk and Talk from yesterday, and yes, we are making some personnel changes around here. So if you like to write about Disney, please write to us at I will not make inappropriate jokes on the air at laughingplace.com, and we will get right back to you. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow.
Bye.